All right. On my podcast today is an artist by the name of Saynave. Peace, brother. How you doing?
What's good? I'm out here. What's going on?
Man, I'm good, blessed, man. Appreciate you being able to take the time out to do this with me.
Of
Thank you for granting
course.
me the time and energy.
Of course. Now, thank you for having me on.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Them young kids, you put them to bed. Everything good? Everything work out?
Yeah. So I was telling you earlier, my wife was gone for 4 days, so I was on
Hmm.
solo dad duty, which is interesting. Um, Not as hard because my oldest is 6, my youngest is 2, but I'm also mainly on baby, like on sleep duty with the baby. And I was like, I'm going to come through real quick, you know. So I almost had her asleep, but then yeah, but we're good. Everything's good. Everything's great. You know what I mean?
How often are you on single dad duty?
Probably like once a month. Like we both travel a lot,
Okay.
like together, but then also she has a lot of trouble for work. Like I got 2 music things coming up, so I'll be gone for a few days. But it's not like it's frequent, but like once every other month, one of them is probably gone for a couple of days, so it's not too
Okay.
bad. But
So you do get an
uh,
understanding of what it takes to be at home and bathe the kids, feed them, and everything like that. You
well, yeah,
are
no, she's
aware.
probably gone. She's probably gone more than I am. If I want to
Oh,
keep it. If I want to keep it
oh,
a buck. Yeah, no,
okay.
it's yeah, no. I take parenting very seriously. Like we're not. We're mostly around, and then like every other month, they travel a lot with us, and
Mm-hmm.
then. She's an actuary, so she had a conference that she was running
Okay.
uh over the weekend. So she was out in DC. So basically, yeah, I was out with them for about 4 days. And so but yeah, but then for her work she travels a lot too. So it's just like a lot of coordinating and whatnot. But yeah, oh nah, I we kid because the oldest one clings to her, the baby clings to me more so. So it's definitely as even as it can possibly be. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So because you guys have a two-parent household, did you grow up in one yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So you grew up with the mother and the father.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's a little
Matter of
bit
fact.
easier stepping into that
Yeah.
role.
Yeah. So I mean, like having examples in life is a good way to like I know that like right now there's a big thing where it's like representation is not going to save us, but having representation and examples to me at least does kind of give a blueprint, you know what I mean, to like how things kind of can be done. So so basically, yeah, like I mean, on Saturday, matter of fact, on Saturday, I went to my parents' house and brought the kids. You know what I mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
so they can see, it's not, and then her parents are also still together too. So yeah, I mean, it's a good thing.
Good. Yes, it is. Absolutely is. To have someone to draw from and pull information from about standing the test of time, the way that a relationship and fellowship actually works.
Yep,
You have
100%.
you have the actual resource there because it's backing you, right? It's the same thing that pushed you forward.
Yep,
All right,
straight
so
up.
tell me where you're from.
Philadelphia.
Philly, Philly,
Yep.
Philly is where I am from. What part of Philly did you grow up in?
So I claim Philly. I wasn't born and raised there, but I've been here for like 15. I've been here at this point the longest. I was born and raised outside New Brunswick in Jersey,
Okay.
and then went to Delaware for school for a bit. But I've been here for like we've been here for about like 15, 16 years. So at this point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm from Philly. You know what I mean?
Well, spending 15 years of your life there is pretty major, especially if you've kind of grounded yourself there and you've kind of absorbed the culture more than any other
Right.
place that you've been in. That's pretty much kind of where you can say where you're from,
Right,
right?
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So I've kind of just I got to the point where it's kind of like, I just yeah, I basically just claim Philly. My I used to consider like I used to always say New York City, that is the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then about 4 years ago, I was like, all right, the city. and I met Philly, and I was like, oh Jesus! Like if I said the city, like Philly was Philly, the city was always New York. I could be in LA, the city that is New York City, right?
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
then now I'm like, damn, I call it the city Philly. I was like, you know what? I'm not able to say I'm from here now. You know, half
You
half
got
my
to.
slang, yeah, half my
Gotcha.
slang is now like Philly slang. You know what I mean? So it's, but my heart is still like up north. You know what I mean? Like all the rappers I listen to, all of my influences are all from like New York, New Jersey. So
How much time did you spend in New Jersey or New York?
18 years in New Jersey, and but like all of our like our radio stations in New Jersey are all New York until you get into Trenton. So once you cross, like people are like, oh, you're from Central Jersey. I'm like, no, no. The way that like the stations work, you basically listen to New York radio until you hit Trenton, and then it flips to Philly radio, right? So, and I was raised on New York like radio and hip hop. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
So your perspective on music is pretty broad. It's pretty broad as far as what you were receiving in your ears coming up. You know, you got a wide
yeah, no,
spectrum
hundred
of
percent.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So did you grow up in like a church home or a blues home, a jazz home? What did you grow up
Nah,
in?
definitely a church home. Couldn't listen to rap for the longest time. Real church going folks, you know what I mean? A lot of like Motown and stuff, you know what I mean, growing up. So
Definitely.
like a lot of like Marvin Gaye and stuff like that. Like that's why I probably heard mostly. Honestly, probably before that, like a lot of Four Tops, like that kind of. My parents had me late. Like my mom was like 38 when she had me, or
Same.
40.
Same.
Yeah, so they was on some uh like like Diana Ross, Supremes,
Okay.
like they used to know all that, but like I got a lot of like like the oldie stuff. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, so um, that's pretty much all I really listened to until I hit high school, and then I was like, oh wait, rap? Oh snap! All right, this is pretty tight, and then that's how I got into music.
So,
Um,
so a little bit about me. I snuck the rap in early on, around 10 years old, 10, 11 years old.
oh, see, there you go.
I got to it early on, man. My mom she was not too happy when she heard that Snoop Dogg
Yo,
come on tape. She was not happy when she heard that doggy style at all. And it was by accident because I had the headphones on like this and I turned around and reached for something and the plug yanked out.
hey,
And she heard that with all my niggas and my bitches. Put your motherfucking hands in the air. And
yo,
they came running in that room, man. I'm fumbling. I tried to jump under the bed and act like I wasn't there. None of that worked.
yo. Nah, my aunt. So my parents had me listening to some like Christian rap, and I was like, this ain't it. And then this group called DC Talk. I mean, yeah, it wasn't it. And then my aunt got me "It's Dark and Hell is Hot" as a gift for me. I think when I was like in seventh grade, like never even got to listen to it because my mom saw the cover and she was like, "Nah, fam, this ain't it." You know what I mean? And so I never heard it. And then I think my cousin moved in with me, and
Okay.
she was from San Antonio. She's from San Antonio,
Okay.
and she put me on everything because like she was raised my family basically like adopted her, and so and she was raised like because she had like a rough like come up, so we adopted her, and she put me on everything, and that's how I got into hip hop from my
Okay.
cousin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't even be like that
It's
deep into
Dark
music.
and Hell is Hot is a good album, but
I
seeing
know.
that cover was like some demonic
That's what I'm
shit.
trying to say. That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to say.
It
They saw
was.
that cover and was like, I know what type of time he
Oh no
on.
no no!
Like,
I'm thinking about flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. That's what I'm thinking about. But all right, you can pick
yeah,
it
no,
back
I was
up.
just I think I was just basically saying, yeah, my aunt got me It's Dark and Hell is Hot. And so um that would have been my first introduction to hip hop. But then my cousin, who we adopted, who had kind of had like a rough upbringing, we adopted her, and she basically put me on everything. You know what I mean? Like she basically put me on like a lot of like down south hip hop, like UGK, 3 6, like actually, honestly, it was a lot of Cash Money. That's how I
Really?
kind of got into it. You know what I mean? Um, and then I immediately took a pivot towards East Coast. I was like, wait a second, everybody who I talk to is into like Redman,
Hmm.
Wu-Tang, and that kind of stuff. That's how I got into it. And then yeah, then I remember my first album that I think I actually bought, like the first two. It was the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack. And
Okay.
then I bought the Blackout. And I was like, oh, this is pretty fucking tight. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how I got kind of rolled into hip hop, like in high school and whatnot.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to early beginnings because we was talking about growing up in a church and everything. When you were
Mhm.
in a church, did you grow up? Were you in a choir? Did you sing? Did you play instruments? What was your start?
So I played sax, but I did not play in the church. I mainly kind of played sports too. So um, I played soccer, and then I was playing saxophone, and so that's how I blend. That's how I got kind of like a bit musically inclined. Um, but because I played soccer, I never did marching band. I always did um like the band's postseason. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
um the jazz band. And which is funny because I used to consider playing for the church, and I was like, nah, it's too much. And so, but I played all the way through high school, and then um my man got me a cracked version of FL Studio when I was a senior in high school, and basically that's how I kind of got into making beats. 'Cause I was already playing instruments, and he just happened to have his cracked version of FL Studio, and then I became a music producer first. Like that was my first like foray into music, and I wasn't even trying to rap at first. Um that original name I was telling you about before
Mm-hmm.
was like a producer name. I was called Heartbeat because they used to see I was real skinny. They saw my heartbeat through my chest, and so they used to call me Heartbeat,
Cracking
and that was
jokes.
like my
Gotcha.
that was my whole producer thing. And then I used to hate working with artists because there's too many egos. And so then over time I just started like learning how to rap. I was like, all right, I'm gonna
Mhm.
start just trying to rap a little bit. And then after that, it was kind of like, all right, I'm just gonna make stuff for myself. You know what I mean? And just keep cooking. So that's kind of how I started out.
What was your first beat machine?
My first was FL Studio was the
Okay.
DAW.
Okay. Okay.
I the first bit of hardware,
Hardware. Hardware. I'm
funny
sorry.
enough,
Hardware.
um, I had a Moog synth. I had Native Instruments machine, like the very first one back in the day. Um, but I haven't used like I never used like an MP or SP to make beats. I've been almost 15 years purely on Logic Pro. When it comes to making beats. Like I'm definitely a Logic Pro like aficionado, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Um and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I started making beats when Knife Wonder came up and he was using FL
Oh,
Studio. And
okay.
so I was like, oh, he's doing that. It's just tight. Um and so that's how I started using FL Studio first. And then it moved to Logic. I liked it a bit better. But that's probably why I didn't get into like the beat machines early on.
Okay. 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 So Ninth Wonder had a hell of a start coming up. And his production, his sound, his signature got picked up by a lot of different. Once they got popular, Little Brother got popular and everything. Like more people
Yeah.
started hearing them. Then you started hearing them move around doing songs with Jay and
Hmm.
Nas was reaching out to him and everything like that.
Yep.
Were you able in your era? Were you able to pick up on the signature sound for certain producers?
Yeah. So ninth was one because I basically used to stand um like Little Brother and probably Slum Village, but I think I picked up on how Ninth Wonder worked the most because if I'm being quite frank, his style I love the listening and the minstrel show, but it's a bit more simplistic. Like his beat making style is actually quite simple at that time. so I picked up a lot on his style. I was obviously an old Kanye fan. But yeah, it was probably I probably emulated him the most the first couple of years.
Okay.
And that was mainly who I was like listening to. So that's actually probably the person I would say was the biggest early like influence when it came to like making beats.
Okay, so you said you were also playing sax, but it wasn't in the church, right?
Nah, yeah, it was mostly like in bands. And honestly, I
Okay.
still got it right over here, man. Over there somewhere.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I plan on bringing it back and put it in like in music, but I haven't really had a chance recently. Because now I'll just hire me. Like we'll have like with the label I work with, we'll have like instrumentation, and we'll just hire a professional like saxophonist. You know what I mean? Who can do it better than I could ever do it. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay. So when did you get to the point where you started really working on music? Was it in high school? Was it after high school? When did you start really picking up saying this is something I'm gonna
So
start doing?
I feel like everyone will tell you like, "Oh, I've always been serious," but no, there's like a time where you're like, "Yo, this is like this. It's a fundamental change," and it was about I want to say it was about 5 years ago, where it was like, oh, I started taking like the brand seriously, like what I'm posting matters. You know, the actual content that I'm actually making music about matters. And what I mean by that is like I be in the strip club sometimes, but I don't ask about that because that's not my audience doesn't really want to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm real careful about, or I mean, I'll mention it, but it's like it's how I talk about stuff, right? Like I know what my lane is. If you like, I know what like my lane is. I know what people expect to hear from me, and I kind of know what they don't want to hear from me. And that looking at art in the same way as looking like not to come not brand as far as commodification, but like brand like what is it that I'm trying to like represent? That came about 5 years ago.
Okay.
So for me, 5, 6 years ago was really um where I think, okay, this is where it got serious. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
Um, I mean, other than that, yeah, I mean, I've always been serious, but a lot of people don't really understand, like, like the amount of planning, um, like, like organizing, trying to make chess moves, like pressing vinyl, that kind of stuff, that stuff, not everyone's really doing. Like, that stuff takes work and planning and stuff like that. Performing with like a band and stuff, that stuff is like, I wasn't doing any of that stuff more than 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
My man, all of it does. Instrumentation, getting a band to come in and play, getting singers to come in to do background vocals, or if you just have to go in and lay down background vocals by yourself, all of it takes time. All of it all has to
Right.
be choreographed a certain ways for it all to work together, for the better good and success of a project, any project you're doing, even if it's just one song.
Yeah. No. 100%. But what I mean is, there is a line that you cross from, like I get if you were to interview me 10, 15 years ago, I would have told you I was like serious as cancer about music, right?
Hmm.
But there was a certain level of putting myself out there and risk taking when it comes to like the music that I didn't really appreciate that certain people do or try to do like until about 6 years ago, where it's like, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the industry has changed because there was a point where you can just make a really good product and then put it out
Hmm.
there and it might just
Hmm.
bubble. Um, but like the amount of putting myself out there, the amount of like really just doing things in music that are out of my comfort zone, like that kind of stuff, like that's what really like clicked in like I want to say like 2020, 2019, you know what I mean? We're like, all right, I gotta really start. If I'm gonna do a show, I just can't be on there with a mic, right? Like I need to find a band, I need to make a show, you know what I mean? Like I can't just half-ass it. I can't just if I know the whole game now, which is dumping out as many singles as you possibly can, but it's like, no, I'm trying to make an experience of sorts. But I
Hmm.
wasn't thinking that way, I don't think, before 6 years ago.
Yeah, you're trying to
But
create a whole product and brand for yourself. Yeah.
exactly.
And then once you do that, then you can go back to doing the singles. But it's nothing wrong with doing that now. But I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah,
So up to date, how many instruments do you actually play?
yeah. I think maybe just two, because like
Just two.
I'm making beats. I'm on the piano, so I'm just fiddling around playing chords. I'll learn new songs to play,
Okay.
and then I'll like rip some chords and try to make some new beats sometimes. And then saxophone. So mainly just two. But my goal is that I want to like if I had the opportunity, I want to be like Prince. I want to be able to play like five and just be able to do it all, and then I obviously hire someone better. But like I
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to just do like five, like just make enough for like my own where I can be like my own band and just play shit, and then have it replayed with like better artists. But so sooner or later, I'll get to like four or five, but we'll get there.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Who are some of the artists that you have worked with so far?
Like of note,
No, just period. Just period. Just period.
okay, so right
Name some
now,
people that
like
I should catch up on.
so I think you'll dig McFly. So he's the artist on the label I work with. So the label is Fogwood Records, and the artists on that label are phenomenal. um, so McFly, we're actually about to have a short EP in the fall. Paul and the Problems, which is like a he's an instrumentalist, and his album is like other artists. It's kind of like a Mark Ronson kind of a thing,
Okay.
where he's the instrumentalist and then he gets artists to hop on. Um, Bosley, I work with Bosley. He's pretty good. Um, I've worked with are you a big fan of the Roots?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, the album How I Got Over. There's a guy STS or Sugar Tongue Slim.
I don't recall his
He's
name.
featured on the bonus track, and he's featured on one of the tracks in within How I Got Over. I can't remember what the
Okay.
track is. But he's probably credited as STS, but he used to go by Sugar Tongue Slim. He's actually
Okay.
on my album, on my last album,
Dope. Dope.
um, which was a personal geek out for me personally because I'm a big Roots fan. So to get him on was pretty cool. What was that? Yeah, check out McFly, Powell and the Problems. Those are two artists that have recently put out albums that I've worked with, like, that I work with heavily. I think you'll really dig their work.
Okay. Dope. 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 That How I Got Over album was a pretty solid album. I did like that one. They had some dope cuts on that album. Altogether, the Roots have done some pretty incredible work. Um,
Hmm.
they have some classic albums to me. Do you have a favorite album, two or three from the Roots band?
Oh, How I Got Over is by far my favorite
Okay.
of their projects. Like, and then maybe number two is Rising Down. I want to
Oh
say
man, that is a
is my number
fire
two.
album. That's a
I love
fire
Rising
album.
Down. Um, this is probably a faux pas, but I discovered them after Phrenology.
That's okay.
Like I
That's
do, like I
okay.
know I shouldn't say discover. I knew who they were, but I got
Hmm.
into them
Into
after
him.
Phrenology.
That's
So
okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
the only album of theirs I don't like is their last one, and I'm just hoping to dear God that they do one more because Black Thought did that amazing project with Danger Mouse, and I'm like, yo, I need to do one more album. Have you heard that? Have you heard that?
215.
Is it called P15? Him and
No, he did
Danger
one
Mouse did it.
after that. He did one after that, which in that album you're talking about right there, that's a dope album as well. Yes, I know what you're
What's
talking
I'm
about.
about to look that up. 215?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
I didn't even hear that. I'm
Yeah,
just like Black. I know Black Thought got another album with the. I'm like, come on, I got one. Give me one more because that last album they put out, I did not
yeah.
think.
Didn't he do something called Streams of Consciousness or something like that? Or am I
Wait,
tripping?
wasn't that his solo joints? I'm
Yeah,
about to look at it right now
yeah.
because
We
I'm
better both be looking this up because I don't want to get it
because it was
wrong.
okay. So Cheat Codes was with Danger Mouse. He had one called Glorious Game. I haven't Streams of Thought. Yeah, he did like three of those joints. Um, that was fire. I heard like two of them. That shit was fire. Yeah, like didn't I? This dude just killing it every single time. Yeah, so the last Roots album was called and then you shoot your cousin. That's the one album where I was just like I feel like the mix was off. I wasn't really like I don't know. It's the only one. But Undone is fire. How I Got Over, Rising Down, Game Theory is fire. The
Hmm.
Tipping Point, like I love all them joints, man.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's nothing wrong with going back and checking out the artists that you're just now
yep,
hearing. It just means that they have a history of music that you get to relate to and build on, and you get to understand them better. Do you know that a lot of people didn't even understand, didn't know who Jay-Z was till In My Lifetime Volume 2, Hard Knock
yeah,
Life. It's a
yeah.
hard knock life. Like they had to go back and get Reasonable Doubt. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And listen to all those, listen to those two or three albums before they got the chance to really, before they understood who Jay-Z really was. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely,
So there's nothing
absolutely.
wrong with that. It happens. It happens. I tell people all the time, like you're not going to be the first person or the last person to come in two, three, four, five albums later. Like that comes along with the
Yep.
territory.
No, straight up, straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I just like that they do two things. One, their catalog is phenomenal, and two, they like it's kind of like a clips thing. It's like no, they're showing people like that when it comes to hip hop, it's like you can actually age and you can actually age it, age up and still just crank out just phenomenal body to work. You know what I mean? Like, like Jay's good at this. Nas is having a fantastic like
He is.
renaissance run. You know what I
He
mean?
is.
Like, and so that's why I really love like what Black Thought's doing. I'm like, I need another Roots album because it's been almost a decade since the last one. It drives me a
Hmm.
little crazy, but I'm sure they'll do one soon. But
Absolutely. I think they will do, and I just think it's a matter of getting together again. Those guys had a lot going on. They were doing a Tonight Show.
yeah,
They were all creating their own individual vibes and going their own separate ways. But it's at some point, I'm sure they'll get together and throw another album together. Not throw one. They'll put another album together, a project together, and
yeah.
really
Well,
get going.
their tour schedule is famously relentless. So they're probably just like, yo, this be
Yeah.
cool with this Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon thing right
Yeah,
now. You know what I
reality.
mean?
It's probably a situation. Yeah, like you said, it's going to be one of those situations where they're going to have to say, "Look, we're going to do the tour, finish. Everybody take some time to refresh for three months, whatever. We'll go back to working, and then we'll come back 3 months later after that, and then we'll just strictly just work on the album. But we all have to
Yep.
have it. All has to line up. It all has to be aligned. We don't want to do it where everybody's forcing their time, and they're trying to make the schedule work, and it just doesn't work. You want
No,
everybody
straight up.
invested in, and you want everybody's full attention when they're making albums and creating like that.
No, straight up, straight up.
Because other engagements will get in the way, and it will get hard to work, and it get hard to finish projects like that. And then you'll have flustered and frustrated people, and people may say things that they shouldn't be saying. So
No,
you want
100%.
you want them well rested and everything. So for you right now, is there any music that you are working on?
Yeah, so my album came out last year. It was called Sorry I'm Late, I Didn't Want to Be Here. So that came out last year. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on an album called The Flowers for next year. So like a 2 year difference. And then in between uh we have a me and McFly have a joint, like I was mentioning earlier, we have a joint project coming out think December. It's a short EP. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 songs, which is already fully recorded, honestly. Which I think we're just in the process of getting it mixed right now. But for me personally, yeah, the Flowers album is I plan on having it out by like next summer. Once again, a full length album. Probably won't do too many singles, if any. Uh, but Yeah, that's makes a mistake mainly it. Oh, how can I forget? I have one single this year. I
Okay, because
have
your
one
mind
single.
it looks like your mind working because you're trying to fill in the gaps. I'm sitting here going like,
Yeah, I was like,
what
I'm
is
not
he
gonna. So
remembering?
I got one single. Flick, flick. How can I forget? My man, it's my man Emmanuel Brown. That's another guy to
Gotcha,
check out. Emmanuel Brown.
gotcha.
Yeah, we have a song out right now called Flick, Flick. Came out like a month ago. Because um, when I think of the word projects, I'm like Matt, like long
Mm-mm,
like 6 month run, this
mm-mm.
is a single that came out about 2 weeks ago. Fantastic single. Once again, my man Emmanuel Brown, check him out too. He's probably the hardest working man in music that I know in the
Okay,
indie space.
bro. What I'm
That
saying
man,
is, when you do a project, I'm talking 5 or 6 songs or more. When you get up to seven, 8, 9 songs, that's like an EP or whatever. So
yep.
anything after that 9 mark or and once you hit 10, that's an LP. So
Yep.
anything up to 9 songs, whatever, or 4 to 9 songs is a project or an EP. You know, anything
Yep.
where it's like that, where you got together and some music happened, uh, I just consider it a project. You know what I mean? Or you
Yep.
work together with somebody else, you guys team up. It's a project. You guys went together, you put something together, and you experiment to see what will
No,
happen.
absolutely.
It happened.
Yeah, no, but yeah, the EP, the EP's coming out in December, and then my next album's gonna be in whatchamacallit, next summer, so The Flowers.
Okay.
So it's been pretty cool. I'm trying to do a big rollout, have a pretty cool video or two. Yeah, no, it's that project is gonna be real tight, you know what I mean? So
Okay. Okay. Dope. 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 What are some of the who are some of the artists that you are inspired by?
So, what's crazy? It kind of goes in stages of my life. So, like
Mm-hmm.
early on, it was easily Slum Village, Little Brother, and Knife. Funny enough, Dilla rapping for the longest time was more of an influence. I didn't even know he was making the beats when I first got on there. Um, but that whole project, Fantastic Volume 2. Um, Early Kanye was a big influence on my beat making too.
Mm.
Jay-Z. I would say later, like in the last 5, 6 years, it's probably like Tyler, just from a conceptual standpoint, like
Okay.
just how far you can take like projects, Run the Jewels, like Killer Mike. Um, I'm always stuck between like, all right, how far sonically you want to take something, and then how far messaging you want to take something. So like
Okay.
when it comes to like Killer Mike, it's like, oh, the things you can talk about are X, right? When it
Gotcha.
comes to Tyler, it's like, oh, the soundscape can be, or the concepts can be Y. So those are two big influences. Um, just sheer rapping like Jid is, I think, is phenomenal. The Clips obviously is one of my favorite groups. So yeah, it just all depends. It changes. It just depends on like where I'm at. Jay is probably my all time like he's probably my most consistent favorite. It's like I'm every 2 years I'm like, oh yeah, no, Jay, his albums are always like hitting in one way or the other. So yeah, it just depends on where I'm at, um, how I'm trying to write. Little Brother, Fonte specifically, was a big influence on like how to actually be clever in writing. But yeah, it just really depends on what I'm trying to do, like
Gotcha.
or where I think I'm slipping as an artist. Then I'll listen to somebody and go, oh, they're really doing what I wish I can do, and then
What did you
oh,
think of the Clips album?
fantastic,
Yeah, me
absolutely
too.
fantastic. So I have like I'm a long suffering Clips fan because I felt like for the longest time I was screaming in like a vacuum. I'm like, these guys are fantastic. Like y'all should put them
Mm-hmm.
in the top, like y'all top 10 groups, right? Um, but I felt like historically, like I went through their whole album recently, like their whole catalog recently, and if you listen to like the first one, first of all, it's fire, but it does feel like Pharrell is carrying half of it because it's like it's really Neptune's the hooks. He's on it, I think, every single hook, right? And so it kind of is like, well, if Neptune's weren't here, would they really be having a good album, right? And then Hell Hath No Fury, absolute classic, right? It's more like the Pusha show, you know what I mean? With featuring Pharrell. And Mouse was doing okay, but this is the first album where I was like, even though Pharrell did his thing, it's like I felt like Malice and Push was just
They
like
put their
it
foot
was just
down. They put their
put
foot
their
down this time.
foot down,
Yeah,
And
they
once
did.
again, fantastic catalog. Like I love Hell Have, I love Laura Willing, right? And even Casket, I've got a few bangers, but like this one, I was like, yo, I think Mouse may even out rap Push on this, which was like wild to me, right? Like I have more quotes for me that I love. I think coming from Malice this time, but like this is the album where I was like you could have changed like I didn't leave thinking if Pharrell was gone, they would have had a bad album. You know what I mean? Like
So
I
here's the
like
thing with Pharrell, right? Pharrell, if you already know how Pharrell works, if I do the beat, I'm gonna be on a hook, or I'm gonna be doing something like in the background. You're
Right.
gonna hear me somewhere. You're gonna hear something from
Yep.
me. I'm gonna do a verse, a hook, or you're gonna hear me doing something. It's my shit. I'm the one that's creating it. So you
Mm.
got to deal with Pharrell being on there. But this was so balanced that
Exactly.
the
That's
way
the
that they
word.
put
It's
it together
balanced.
is
Yeah.
completely balanced, and they gave you the ups and downs. And I thought the album, like they were saying, um, doing certain interviews with certain other podcasts and journalists or whatever, they were saying the album was going to take a dip because that first song, talking about the people that they lost, the
Yep.
birds don't scream, the birds don't sing,
Yep.
right? I was like, this may go completely wrong if you start an album like this. Like after this
Yep.
song, like you got to go, like everything has to bounce correctly. Like the ball has to continue to
Mm.
bounce from song to song, and it has to go up and then it has to end correctly.
Yep.
I'm listening to it like, yo, I think they did it.
They definitely did
I
it.
think they
Yeah, for
did it.
real. No,
And
they
I listened
did.
to it over and over again. And I started breaking down each song. I'm like, oh no, they did it. Like this is it. Like this is like one of the most perfect albums that to me that I've heard from a rap artist in a very long time.
A very long time, straight up. That's the why I think you hit the nail on that. It was like it's their most balanced, where it was like, yo, everyone came. Like it didn't feel like I said, Pharrell's gonna be on the beats or whatever, but it's almost like sometimes like when you have Michael Jordan playing, like he's just overshadowing everyone every single time. This time it felt like he's not overshadowing, the record, you know what I mean? So no, I was definitely very happy.
Yeah,
You know, I
it was like Mike got 30, Scotty went and got 20, 10, and 10. Then
mhm.
everybody else added their double doubles and everything, and then we rode off into the
Exactly.
sunset. Yeah. Yeah, I
Exactly.
agree with
It felt
that.
like a true
Absolutely.
team effort this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause it was
absolutely.
just like I remember hearing I was going through it like about a month ago, the anticipating this new album. And I'm like, yo, this Lord Willing shit is fire. But my guy, this is not a Pharrell fucking album. I
Yeah.
mean,
But
this dude
but
was all over it.
it's a Clips album to me. It's a Clips
And no,
album.
100%.
It's a
Like
Clips album.
they like it's still a Clips album. It's hard to explain. It's just like
I hear what you're
this
saying, but
one.
it's not like for real overshadow. It was mostly production, and then when he needs to do a hook, he did a hook.
Yeah,
It's not
right,
like you heard
exactly.
him all over the album. Like he wasn't like, ladies and gentlemen, the world. It wasn't like he was doing anything like that. It was like, look, I'm gonna take my place when it's
Hmm.
needed, but for the most part, I'm gonna step back and let them tell a story and let them do their drug dealer
Exactly.
rap, their the lifestyle that they live, the transformation, the things that they sing, and then they gonna go on and do what they're supposed to do in
Yeah,
this album. I'm just gonna chill, but I'm gonna orchestrate the album. I'm gonna orchestrate it. I'm gonna let them walk y'all through it. Like I know how
yeah,
this shit is supposed to go because I've been around for a very long time. But I'm just gonna orchestrate it, and then I'm gonna let them just walk y'all through how this shit's
yeah.
gonna go. That's all.
And Malice was cooking. Malice was.
Oh man, was he?
He
Wasn't he,
was. Woo, I was like,
bruh?
yo, fine. Because I used to like. I've always liked him, but I used to always get him like, yeah, his flow can be a little janky sometimes. But this one, I was like, my man, just literally just out here, just spitting, like talking for real. Um, he did pretty good on. He did pretty good on Till the Casket. It's just the album wasn't as cohesive. But yeah, up until this point. I used to always listen for Push. Like I was a
Mm-hmm.
massive re-up gang, hell half like era Push fan. Like
Got you.
I'm that's the era of Push that I love.
But
I
I think this album you got a more clear-minded Malice. I think that's what it was. Like those
yeah,
other albums,
exactly.
I think those other albums, like they were saying on the interviews, Malice was wrestling with wanting to rap and getting out of the way of rap. Like he didn't, like he said, I don't need to
Mm.
rap no more. Like everybody, if you know my story and my background, I don't have to rap. I don't
Yeah,
need
and
rap.
yeah,
Like
he
my
wanted to
brother
spend
loves
time
this shit. My brother really loves this shit. I don't love it like my brother do.
right, and he was like, and also too, he has a family, and it's like a lot. It's a lot to
Yeah,
balance. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so, if you got kids and you're married and you've always happened around you, and then you're touring. He's like, yo, I literally got grinding is going to pay for all my kids in school. Like, I'm good for a while. So he took a break, which is,
yeah,
I commend him for. You know what I mean?
yeah.
If things ain't where you want it to be, it takes a lot to step away. So,
Yeah, we left these record labels alone. They wasn't really fucking with us. We was in these situations that we didn't want to be in. The Neptunes are breaking up.
mhm.
For real and Chad, they're going through their issues. Then on top of that, I got family at home. I got people that really need me, and I'd rather be at home
Yep.
instead of trying to fit in with a group of people that I don't really give a fuck about. So
Yep.
stepping away was just good for him. And then Pusha just went on his run of doing things that he was doing, and that worked for Pusha. And they finally just got. I think they just this project just meshed well together, man.
That's right. I forgot, but they had a bunch of label issues too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
a
like he
bunch.
probably, after this,
Even
I'm
even putting this album out, they had to leave Def Jam.
which is wild. I was like, yo, like that verse wasn't even that deep. It wasn't even.
It
I know
wasn't.
how it looked, but it was like it wasn't even that bad. I mean, he didn't say nothing crazy,
No,
and
he
he
wasn't
was
saying nothing wild or crazy. It wasn't like he called Drake a pussy ass bitch or nothing like that. Like he was just name dropping, calling him all type of names, nothing. He just put together a dope ass verse, and if you feel like it's aimed at that guy, then you feel like it's aimed at him.
right, exactly.
So they left that label. I'm sure whatever they did, they turned in a project for Def Jam, and Def Jam was like, "We're gonna shelve that," and they was like, "All right, here go the real. We're gonna take the real shit over here, and
No, straight up.
we're gonna go to Rock Nation and tell them, look,
Yeah, I can't.
here go the real album right here. We ain't gonna get them that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get them that."
hmm
And
And also, my other thing too, and this is kind of like so with the label, like Fog, our whole thing right now is just kind of like, F singles. We're just doing projects. Like
hmm
we're doing albums. We're catering towards actual music heads, right? And like it's impossible to chase this singles game. And I actually really appreciate the Clips was like, yo, first of all, you ain't heard from us in a minute. And even Pusha don't put out projects like that, right? It's like
mm
once every couple of years. Um, and then the rollout was very traditional, right? Everyone thinks that they're Drake or Beyonce right now, and they can just not put out anything and just
hmm
launch it and then just put out an album. And then they get surprised with no promo that their albums flop. They did that shit real old school. They gave you two singles of probably the two hardest ass songs, right? And then they did interview, they did this, they did that. They did
A promo
everything
run. They
literally
went old school.
an old school promo run. And I was
hmm
like, thank God. I was like, because the thing is, like, I know the industry has tilted to expediency and and like short form content, but it's like the people that actually buy the music are the people who appreciate the promo runs and the
Yeah,
people who like will spend money on your music are the ones who actually appreciate
yeah.
you taking time to make decent work and not just throwing out like bullshit,
hmm
So like I'm happy to see that model actually worked, especially when the product is that good, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
My man, I'm gonna pause it for a second because I gotta use the bathroom. All right.
oh no, good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had to take a bathroom break, but we back. We
All
back.
good.
Yes, sir. I had to, couple cups of water, man. I like to stay hydrated and everything. Um,
'Cause I can't be mad at that.
no,
You know
I'm
what I
big.
mean?
I'm big on hydration. Gotta have that. Gotta have that.
Words.
So when we left off, we were talking about the Clips
Oh yeah, no,
projects,
the rollout, the
the
album
rollout. Yeah,
rollout. Yeah, I'm just like,
right.
no, I mean, but long story short, everyone can't be Drake. Everyone can't be,
Beyonce, like you were
uh,
saying. Yeah,
yeah, like do an album rollout. Like my whole thing is just like, it's just like I'm trying to zig while everyone else is zagging. You know what I mean? It's like, and the Clips did that. It's like everyone thinks throwing singles at the wall every 3 weeks, you know, or just dropping an album with no press release like your Beyonce is gonna like no, just put in the work. You know what I mean? Like
that's
put in the
what
work.
that's what it
That's all you
is,
got.
bro. You got to put in the fucking work.
hmm
You
And
can't
none of these
cheat.
guys do it.
You can't
None of these
cheat
guys
it,
do it.
bro. You
Well,
can't.
here's the thing is they're not even putting in good albums, right? If you're gonna put on your album, you know what's crazy? If their album, if they put in no work, I'm almost not mad at it because the album was that good, right?
hmm
But like people be doing this with the most mid ass albums, right? Like the album's not
Yes.
even good, and you're doing a silent drop,
You
like.
can't cheat the process. And in the
Mhm.
end, when you cheat the process, everybody's gonna know when they go and do the work and the research on you. it's gonna backfire. You can't
Yep.
beat the fucking process. You can't.
Right. Exactly.
Can't.
So
If you want a fat, what's a fat, what's it, if you want I forgot, a fast solution to the problem, you're gonna get a fast result. You know what I mean?
yeah, straight up.
That's all.
Exactly. Like the thing is, when Beyonce did it,
That's
I
all.
remember when Beyonce did it the first time, and I was like, but it was like no one ever did that before. One, so
Yeah.
she
Oh,
was zigging when everyone else was zagging, and two, she literally had a video for every single song. Like it was literally an endless run from the time she started. Like so, it was on her self. It was her self titled um album. And up until that point, I'd be like, oh, if he just don't kill it. I remember hearing that project and be like, this project is fantastic. Like, I think it's like my favorite Beyonce album is the self-titled joint, right? And it was like she put it out, but then there was so much work that had already been done. So like when it dropped, there was literally an album of videos. It was 12 videos for that project, or
yeah,
however many songs was on that project, right? And it was just like she still put in the work. She just did it differently. You know what I mean?
yeah.
These dudes just think, oh, surprise. I'd be like, come on, what are y'all doing?
Okay, I did 20 songs and I picked the best seven. I'm gonna put this out here. I'm gonna press send or upload, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Speaking of, that's actually another thing I don't like. I really hate this whole um beta testing of albums. Or you see, same thing with like video games. People put things out and then they'll tweak it and then upload it later. Like I hate the whole like you'll hear an album come out and then they'll edit something and then they'll upload like the updated
Mm-mm.
version of the song. I'd be like, yo, no, once you
Don't
put it
do
out,
it.
it's done.
Yeah, don't do
Don't do
that.
it. Like just it's
Don't
stuck in
do it.
time, you know?
That's it. Once
Yeah.
it's out, it's out. You can't say, "Oh, I had to do this." Even when Kanye did, I was like, "Nah, yeah, you know that ain't. You know, you trying to change the way the music comes out. You can't do that."
I can't stand it. Funny enough, the Clips did do it low key. And
Really?
so I was basically that song So Be It, the sample wasn't cleared. And so with for 12 hours, So Be It 2 was the song that was on. And it was a different beat. It was awful. It like and I remember hearing it being just like, I cannot believe they changed this beat. And then I was like, wait a second, there's a sample. They ain't cleared the fucking sample. 24 hours later, it was back to the original. And
Oh,
so this was
that's what
back
it
in the
was.
day.
Okay.
It was back in the day. They would have just pressed that shit. It would have been too late 3 months ago. So it would have already, it would have been all pressed up already. I kind of I kind of like it that way. Like once it's done, it's done. Like
Yeah.
you can't go back.
Had
But
that
yeah,
been the
they actually. Oh, go ahead.
had that been the old era, that would have been scrapped. Like that song would have been scrapped because if they would have put that shit out, whatever Middle
Mm-hmm.
Eastern artist that was, they would have ate them up. They would have ate them up.
They would have either put it out and gotten sued to oblivion
Mm-hmm.
like Pharaoh Monch did with Godzilla, or they would have put it out and they would have worked something out, or they would have not put it out at all. Those were your
Yeah.
three options, right? But you made a choice, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna take the risk because I think it's a add to my album, or we're gonna say fuck it because I don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just if it's still on the Wikipedia page.
No,
But
you good.
yeah, so like yeah, so be it part two. Like they had to get rid of it. If you go to the so be it subreddit, you will see so be it part two
Mm-hmm.
within that same page. But yeah,
Gotcha.
it was because they
You just
couldn't clear
told
the
me something because
sample.
I didn't know that. Because what I thought was that what I at least what I read or saw on the internet earlier today and in the past couple of days, they said
Hmm.
they had people fly over to talk to those people about that song
Yep.
to get it
Right,
cleared.
because of the sample of Mazda Aklulu by Saudi Arabian musician Tala Mado was not able to be cleared in time for the release of Let God and Sort Him Out. Pharrell produced an alternative version of the song called So Be It Too without the sample. It was really bad. Swiss Beats went to Saudi Arabia and cleared it, but
That's
it
what I
was yeah,
read. That's what I
it's
read.
right there in Wikipedia too. But like I'm not saying the beat may have been fine for it, but on the same lyrics as So Be It, it was bad. I remember going like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Right? And then 24 hours later, they fixed it. But I was like, "Nah, y'all gotta just pull the trigger. Y'all gotta
Yeah.
make a decision and run."
Mm-hmm.
Um, I only give them the pass because I was like, this was their original intent. So it was like they wanted the original one, and they eventually got there. Because I even think I was checking on the subreddit for the clips or for Pusha T that if you got the vinyl, like the original run of the vinyl, So Be It is not on the vinyl. When I
Oh,
was and because of the I have to that I can't
because of the
quite
clearance
confirm.
issue. Because of the clearance
Yeah,
issue.
because of the clearance issue.
Yeah.
Clips. Look, I want to actually see if I can find that. But yeah, apparently, from what I remember reading, So Be It's not on there. Or it was, but maybe it is. I don't know. But I thought I read that somewhere. But anyways, but yeah. Moral story. I hate this whole. I'm about to upload something. I'm gonna change it. Kanye out here trying to. Anyways, Kanye's special case, but
Um, so have you had a chance to listen to Alfredo Part Two with Alchemist and
I have a hot take.
Freddie
I've heard
Gibbs?
half. I gotta finish it, but I have a hot take.
Okay,
I
talk
say
about it.
this. I like Freddie Gibbs, but I feel like Freddie Gibbs needs to go back sometimes and just rewrite some of his stuff.
Mm,
Like if he just, I feel like he go in there, whatever he write at first, that's it, and he records it, and he don't make no edits. He don't go back. A lot of times, I feel like his stuff can be a bit more polished.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm just like I think a lot of it is the Alchemist's beat sometimes, and I'd be like, just go back and edit the song. Like it would be actually really cool if you just focused on what you were saying, because he be not saying things sometimes. I'd be like, yo, you're not saying anything. Like, you just like he's just doing his flow. And my biggest issue with Freddie Gibbs is just I feel like he can be a hair more polished, right? It's like a lot of times he gets a pass, in my opinion, because he's like on an Alchemist beat, right? And I'm like, he didn't say anything. He just he just flowed y'all. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just had his flow, his signature flow, but he's not saying anything. He's just I don't know. That's my issue with like a lot of his stuff. I don't think he's saying too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's just
I think that's just part of what he does, bro. I just think that's part of what he does.
yeah. No, I know. I just yeah. I don't know. A lot of times I just feel like he don't. There's not like a lot of substance to what like he's using like a lot of filler words,
Okay.
um, which is a big pet peeve of mine as a writer. I'm just like I don't like filler words.
But some of them do it all
Like
the time. It's
I know
artists
like
that do it
don't curse
all the time.
like people who curse for no reason. Like I got like I curse like a sailor, right? But when I write, I'm like someone was like, yo, well if all you're doing is challenge yourself not to curse so much because then it actually helps you write better
And
because
it helps with the vocabulary too.
helps your yeah,
Hmm.
vocabulary helps you write better.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just will say some shit and and they're saying it because they're cursing because they're not saying anything, right?
Yeah. Because it'll
Like
be
and
shit,
so
spit, it,
yeah, you know what I mean? Like
quit.
even
And it
saying
be like,
like
damn, like that was easy. That was easy 2 bars, 4 bars. Like that was easy, bro.
yeah, like I remember well, I can't remember the song, but I was just like Freddie, you can do better than this. Like
Yeah.
um yeah, I don't know. Like I just when I hear guys like Jid, you know what I mean, and Killer Mike when they be rapping, like I'm
Yeah. When
hanging
it
on to every word. I
yeah.
don't be hanging on to every word with Freddie. I'm like, oh, he's just gone. He
But
just
so we gotta understand something. With every dude that raps and comes from the street, we ain't necessarily looking for him to be the best wordsmith. We listening for pain, right? We listening for pain and words that hit hard. We listening for those bars that hit hard because he's talking about a different type of subject matter. We're not necessarily listening for him to say some shit like
but
jid
see,
and
I don't know. Jeezy, like, thought Motivation 101, 102, like, that man was spitting. Like, you know what I mean?
was
Like,
he really though? Because some people
I
you
think
would
he
say
was
that
spit.
and some people would go, all right, well it was okay. What he was doing was
Nah, that man was spit. Like, I think his best flows was his early. Like, right now, Jeezy be, like, trying to rap. I'm like, no, your best flow. Like, he was spitting old school Jeezy. Like, man was spitting like I don't
I
know. He
felt
was
motivated. I ain't gonna say he was spitting, but I did feel. I'm like, yo, this nigga talking, man. This nigga make
he
me
was like,
want
yo, the
to go up and go
clientele's in
beat up.
Minnesota, and so is the Vikings. Like, come on, my man was like, I was really feeling like who else is there? Even Push, right? Like, it's even or like the boys from Griselda. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, Benny.
they they be just like Conway, bro. Like just like how he be just like making the whole scene come alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I don't. And maybe I'm being a little too hard, but like
you're not.
how
You're
he
not.
brings the
It's
stuff.
just the way. It's just, I see what you're saying. It's just the way he puts it together. Like he's not. He's not putting the best verbiage to the words to make it come together and make it come alive and hit hard. I get what you're saying, but
Even like the song structure, even as like a songwriter, like some of the like the best version I feel like of it is like that song with Anderson Pot. Like I love Anderson Pot. My man, like how that song worked
Anderson
and
Paak
how
is dope.
like that to me like a polished product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, oh, he. Don't get me wrong. I love the. I like a lot of his stuff. He's one of those people where I'm sure in like 5 years I'm gonna be like, you know what? It was incredible. There
Oh,
are artists where I've gone back
okay. Speak on that
retroactively.
then. Speak on that then, because Benny the Butcher did put out a project as well, and I thought it was just okay. I thought that Alfredo 2 with Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs was a dope project. I thought it was better than Benny's project. What did you think of Benny's project?
I haven't heard Benny's. I haven't heard his. He has something come out this year. I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it yet.
Came out a couple
Like
like a month or
there
two
are
ago.
people. There are people who in the moment it's like, I don't know about this. You fuck with JP Mafia.
No, I know who they are, but I know who it is, but I don't listen to him.
He's been covering him for a long time, right? And he put out a project where understand. Like I forget, I love the project. It's his most recent solo, right? And I was like, "Yo, okay, I get it, right?" Because he was rapping his out this album or his like last two sounded a bit different than his first two, and so I I love the most recent album, which made me go, "Oh, okay, I understand what you're doing on the earlier albums now." Like now, I like the early stuff a bit because I heard an album that I was like, "Oh, okay, this is how this is your style. I understand, you know, your whole like I understand like your thing." And I think part of the thing with Freddie is I don't know if I got the album where I was like, "Yo, boom, I get it. You know, I get it. Let me go back now and listen to the old stuff under a new ear." Some people are really good, or they're really good at getting the thing like when the early stuff comes out. Or some people are just um, like sometimes some artists will hit with certain people
Mm-hmm.
immediately when they first come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like with JPEG Mafia, with his stuff, I was like, oh, okay. It took me about 6 years, but now I'm a big JPEG fan because I was
Gotcha.
like, yo, this album is phenomenal. The one he just, I
Gotcha.
can't think of the name of it. I lay my life down for you. I think is what it's called.
Okay.
Like I love it. That and scaring the hoes with Danny Brown, where I was like, yo, I love these projects, right?
Gotcha.
Now I go back and go, okay, all right, I
That
get it.
makes sense. Yeah.
I apologize. I was wrong. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
kind of so I'm hoping for that project with Freddie where I go back because also I haven't really sat through a lot of Freddie. You know what I mean? So
That's the
I
other
get
thing. That's the other thing. Yeah.
I like him. I've heard him a lot on features,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard the last project which I thought was cool. Um, the what's that genre called? Hold on, so I can find it real quick. Freddie Gibbs. The album called so you only no Soul Sold Separately. That's the one I listened to, and that was
Okay.
pretty cool. I liked it.
Okay.
Um, uh, this nigga be cranking out albums, yo. Like, damn, I thought that shit was all right. He, I heard that. I think it was 2022. So he has one called "You Only Die Once" that I have not heard yet, and then he has Alfredo too. Um, so yeah, I gotta actually sit through. I gotta sit through Alfredo one. Everyone loves Alfredo one, so that's probably part of the problem too. And then you got Pinata, which everyone loves. But yeah, now
Yeah, he got
I
some
love
projects.
I
He got
love
some projects.
Madlib.
He got some projects you gotta check out. He cranked
He
out a
got
few.
he
You
got a
cranked out a
fuck
few.
ton of albums. I gotta get through it.
Uh,
But then they're all highly rated too. So like I know I'm the problem. I know I'm the problem. But you know what I mean?
it just takes some sitting down, and listen, getting taking a listen to. That's all. That's all. You got
yeah,
some homework. That's all. You got some
it's
homework.
no 100%. So yeah, I'm probably gonna sit down with. 'Cause I love Mad Lib, so I'm gonna pick one of these Mad Lib albums. Actually, I'm gonna go through one of these joints, and then I'm about to go through one of these
That's okay.
joints.
I see you looking. I see you looking. Your eyes are moving
Yeah, yeah.
around. You looking stuff up. Who are some artists, or yeah, who are some artists you would like to work with, dead or alive?
Um,
Five. Name five.
so I would say definitely. I mean, off top, Jid. 'Cause like I think he has one of the best flows in the game. I would like I want Slum Village, but I want the Villa Manifesto Slum Village, like just before Baten died. 'Cause I felt like if I could have Dilla, Baten, and Elzai all in one shot, you know what I mean?
Ooh, ooh.
Which which
Elza,
which
fam.
barely briefly kind of coexisted. Um, that'd be tight. Um, who else do I like? Maybe even Tyler would be tight. Who else I bang with? Like rap wise, I'm trying to think of people who are like obviously like Jay-Z now. But I'm like, who's interesting that I would
Mm-mm,
do?
it
Killer
ain't,
Mike would
brother.
be,
They don't even have to be rap. Just all time, all time.
yeah, Killer Mike would be tight. All time, you know, what we tight. I like when they did that Jay-Z Linkin Park joint. That shit was
Really?
fire.
Okay. All right.
That shit was fire. Back in the day when they did that mashup album.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but those are a few I would definitely want to do. If I get one more in there. Oh no, easy. I would kill for a little brother. Back in the day, young, college me would have been like if completely like through the moon if I had a little brother, Knife Wonder, Fonte, um, like collaboration. He'd probably
Gotcha.
smoke me on the track, but I wouldn't even care. 'Cause
It don't
Fonte
matter.
was
It
is
don't matter.
brilliant. You know what I mean?
That's who you
So,
wanna. That's who you wanna collab with. That's all. That's all.
no,
You
I mean
just
those
gotta be
were
on your A
like
game. Just bring your A game.
that's the thing. You know what's crazy? Like my best work is with people who I think are always like better than me because like, it makes you really sit down and like focus. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
it's um like you should want to try to work with people who you think are gonna out rap you. You know what I mean?
Makes you
So
raise your pen game. Yep.
100%. You know?
Yep. a hundred
So
percent. Definitely. I would love to do the same too. If it were me in that situation. Um,
straight up.
100%. Um, I forgot the question I was about to ask you. Oh man, I forgot. All right. Raising children. How many kids do you guys have?
I got two. Actually, I'm getting pinged right now. 'Cause she can't get the kid to sleep. So I got like 5 minutes because
Okay. Okay. We
I'm
can
on
hurry.
sleep duty and she's not good at putting the kid to sleep. But I got two, a 2 year old and a 6 year old.
A
So
2 year old and a
two
six year
girls.
old. Two
You got any
girls.
kids?
Ooh, no, sir. I don't have any.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
have any. Congratulations on having two girls, man.
Thanks, man.
Do you
It's
plan
cool.
on
It's cool.
you plan on trying
It's
to get a
def
boy
it's
out the
definitely.
deal?
You said what?
You plan on getting a boy out the deal, or you guys done?
Nah, I'm two and through. I'm trying to be two and through, man. I'm like it's I'm happy I have girls,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm two and through. Like I always tell people like my this little bit I always say is like, yo, I probably had half the money that I had 10 years ago and I was rich. I'm poor
Mm.
now. I'm poor now. I'm kidding. But no, it's cool. Parenting is hard, but being a parent is great, you know what I mean? So
It's crazy because
it's
that's what I want to know. Like, how do you manage your time? How do you manage your time knowing that you have kids, a wife, and your music?
uh I mean it's so we've been together since we've been in school. So I mean, it kind of comes with like just knowing each other probably a lot more than people who probably meet later in life. you just have to have two people who actually want to raise kids. Like it don't work if you're like not on the same page.
Hmm.
Like there's people who will have kids with people who like they only know for a year. Like and you don't want to learn the person while you're learning the kid. You know what I mean? Like the only time you've ever really been in like heated arguments and discussion have been when we had kids because shit gets real with kids. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like and
Hmm.
so and you because it's so hard, you don't want to be learning um, your spouse or your significant other while you're learning your kids, you know? And so that's probably why we've been able to kind of like manage like how we're going to do things.
Figure it
And
out.
also too, you get real strict with time.
Hmm.
Like I pretty much just come downstairs between like 10 and 12 o'clock at night, right? And just crank out as much as I can for 2 hours, right? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, right? And then over time, like it's just I just consistently come downstairs, make sure I'm proud of them, consistently make sure I'm working on something, right? And then as the year goes by, oh, I got a pretty good album, and I can go to the studio and actually, I record a lot here, but I try to take my albums up to like a bigger studio, right? But I just make sure I'm always doing something every single day, in the little time. And then my kids are, like I said, they're 2 and 6. So by the time the kid hits 3, honestly, it gets a bit easier. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's just between 1 to 2.5 is a little rough. But when I only had one and the oldest was 3, it was pretty easy. Not easy, but it was a lot easier. I
Hmm.
mean, no kids is always the easiest, but like when they turn 3, if you can kind of talk to them, be like, "Yo, just go to bed. What you doing? Stop trying to be awake."
That,
So
but I think it's dope that you guys had that understanding of where you all are, and you guys know how to communicate with each other, and you guys know each other enough, well enough to balance that out. So the communication is there. You guys know each other's moods and how each other
yeah,
feel.
yeah, yeah,
And then with the addition of other children, now you're looking at them and you know how to deal with them, the sleepy patterns, the I gotta go to the bathroom, I need to eat, I'm just whining just to be a baby and everything like that. So you guys know how to gauge those
yeah.
interactions, man. I think it's dope that you guys did do that and you took the time to learn that.
Nah, thanks, man. Yeah, it definitely is difficult, but um, yeah, it it's something that I would say it's easier if you've been with someone for a while to be able to
Mm-hmm.
manage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you have to have a lot of patience. You know what I mean? They can't be, and also too, like a lot of dudes, I feel like subscribe to a lot of like old school ways of like moving when it comes to like parenting and stuff. Nah, you gotta be up in there. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
gotta be in there. You gotta um like long gone are the days where it's like I'm the guy I'm working and she cooking. No, like you gotta be you gotta be in there changing diapers, putting the kid to sleep, solo dad it. Like I said, I had the kids for 4 straight days, right? And so you know, but there's a time when they're breastfeeding and so they want mom for the most part. It's like
Yeah.
you have to insert yourself. Everyone has to be actively inserting themselves for more and more pain, if you will. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be like, all right, I know I got this, right? I'll
Right.
take over the hard stuff, right?
Right. The
And if everyone is
sacrifice of it.
right, if everyone is actively trying to do the hard stuff, then I feel like more balance comes, you know what I mean? Like so that's kind of how I look at it at least. So
Okay.
but
All right. I ain't gonna hold you too
yeah.
much longer because I know you got to get back on dad duty. All right.
Yeah, man.
My guest today is Saynave. Oh, please give out any information you have on your website or any news that you have coming out real quick.
Yeah, man. So Saynave, that's my handle on everything for the most
Mm-hmm.
part. So Saynave for everything. My album and vinyl. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to be here from last year. It's out. New album coming out. Shout out to Manuel Brown, McFly, Hollow and the Problems, Fogwood Records. Big year next year. You know what I mean? So
All right. All right. And ladies and
appreciate
gentlemen,
you, man.
well, no, no, sir. Thank you. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, remember the mission statement when you're striving for greatness. God never puts you in the driver's seat if it's taken. Say, Nave, I appreciate you joining the podcast with me, man. God bless. Have a good night. God bless you and your
Thanks,
family.
man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Take care, bro.
Yes,
See you.
sir.